Welcome back to the deep dive. And wow, today really is a special one.
It certainly is.
This is actually our 100th deep dive together. It's quite something.
100 deep dives. Incredible.
And we've journeyed all the way through Dante's Divine Comedy, starting way back in that dark wood.
Through hell, up purgatory.
Exactly. And now, here we are, the very end, the heart of paradise.
Canto 33, the final peak.
So this is our last deep dive into this amazing text. Our mission today, well, obviously witness Dante's ultimate vision, but also maybe find something in it for us, for our own journeys.
Absolutely. Reaching this canto, it feels like more than just finishing the poem. It's the culmination of everything. There's a unique kind of joy here, I think, a fitting end to this paradise of a text we've explored.
Okay, so before we jump right into Canto 33, let's just quickly remind ourselves where Dante is. He's made it to the Empyrean, the highest heaven.
Right. And he's looking at the celestial rose, the Candida Rosa.
This vast sort of amphitheater of blessed souls, all perfectly arranged.
All gazing towards the center, towards God, prepared for that ultimate vision.
And we know, don't we, that feminine intercession has been crucial all along.
From the very beginning, yes. Mary, Lucy, Beatrice.
And that theme comes right back here, powerfully. Canto 33. This is the grand finale.
It really is.
It kicks off with Saint Bernard. He steps in as the final guide, in a way.
Yes, the great mystic. Beatrice yields to him,
And he offers this incredibly beautiful prayer to the Virgin Mary.
asking her, pleading really, to intercede so Dante can receive the grace for the beatific vision, to see God directly.
This is it, the moment the whole journey has been aiming for.
Remarkably, his prayer is answered. Mary consents, looks towards the eternal light, and Dante receives that grace.
So what does he see? How does he even begin to describe it?
Well, he describes it in sort of 3 stages, 3 moments of contemplation.
Okay.
First, he says he sees the entire universe, everything scattered throughout existence.
All of creation.
Yeah, all gathered together, as if it were bound in a single volume,
Yeah.
held together by love.
Wow. A single book bound by love. That's a powerful image of unity.
It really is cosmic interconnectedness.
Okay, so that's the first glimpse. What's the next stage? It gets even more complex, I imagine.
It does. He moves towards the Trinity itself, which is the central mystery.
How on earth does he depict that?
Uses geometry, interestingly. He describes 3 circles.
3 circles.
Yes, 3 circles of different colors, but exactly the same size, the same dimension.
Okay.
And the second circle, the sun, seems to reflect the first, the Father, light reflecting light. And the third circle, the Holy Spirit, appears like fire, breathing out from both the first and the second.
3 circles, same size, different colors, reflecting, breathing fire. It's a visual puzzle, almost. Trying to grasp the ungraspable.
Exactly. It's an attempt to use human concepts like geometry and color to hint at something totally beyond our comprehension. It's elegant, but also acknowledges the mystery.
And then there's a third part to this vision within the second circle.
Yes. This is perhaps the most stunning moment. Within that second circle, the one representing the sun, Dante catches a glimpse of our image.
Human.
The human image. Nostra effige.
Ah.
The face of humanity within the divine light of the sun. It's the incarnation made visible at the heart of God.
The human face. Inside the divine circle. I mean, how does he even find words for that? It sounds so paradoxical.
Well, he relies heavily on these symbolic images, like the circles, but also his language becomes incredibly intense, very concentrated, lots of light imagery, of course. He doesn't try to rationally explain it.
No, you couldn't.
It's more about conveying the sheer wonder, the impact of the experience. Uses paradox, hints at things.
And then right after this incredible climax, the poem just ends.
Pretty much, he explicitly says his alta fantasia, his high imagination, his power to visualize and comprehend, it just fails him here.
It can't hold it. It's too much.
It's too immense. The light is too overwhelming for his mortal faculties.
And this is the really interesting part for me. Even though his mind gives out, something else aligns, right?
Exactly. His will and his desire, they're now perfectly turned, perfectly harmonized.
With what?
With the divine love itself. The love that, as he famously writes,
moves the sun and the other stars.
Precisely. So it's not about intellectual comprehension in the end. It's about the alignment of the will with that fundamental cosmic force of love. A perfect, peaceful resolution.
It's a beautiful ending. But let's dig into some of those details in the canto before the final vision. You mentioned St. Bernard's prayer.
Ah, yes. It's stunning.
It starts with that incredible line, Vergine Madre, figlia del tuo figlio. Virgin Mother, daughter of your son.
One of the most famous paradoxes in all of literature.
It just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? How can someone be both mother and daughter to the same person?
And yet, theologically, it perfectly captures the mystery of the Incarnation. Mary, human, mother of Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ is also God, her creator, making her, in a spiritual sense, God's daughter.
It's theology condensed into poetry.
Definitely. And it sets the stage for the mysteries to come, like the Trinity.
Right. Let's go back to those three circles for the Trinity. You mentioned medieval geometry.
Yes, geometry was seen as a reflection of divine order, but it's also about the number 3, which is everywhere in the comedy.
Of course, the three-line stanzas, the tercets.
The 3 canticles, Inferno, Purgatory, Paradise, even the 3 beasts Dante meets right at the start.
Lion, leopard, she-wolf.
Yeah. So using 3 perfect circles, the circle being a symbol of perfection and eternity feels like the ultimate geometric representation of this 3-in-1 mystery. It's comprehensible as an image, yet the reality it points to remains beyond full understanding.
The thing that really struck me is Dante's fear right near the end, his worry about forgetting.
Yes, his anguish over memory loss. Even at this absolute peak, gazing into the divine light, part of him is concerned about remembering it, about being able to write it down.
It feels so frick human. After all this, he's still the poet, worried about his ability to report back.
It absolutely reveals his earthly mission. He never forgets why he was granted this journey. It wasn't just personal salvation. It was to bear witness, to teach others through his poem.
So this tension between having this profound, maybe incommunicable experience and the need to somehow communicate it, that's central.
Absolutely. It's the artist's struggle, isn't it? How do you put the sublime into words? His admission of memory's weakness makes the poem paradoxically more believable, more powerful. He's acknowledging the limits of language itself.
It makes me think about our own lives, those moments. Maybe not divine visions, but deeply moving experiences that we struggle to share.
Exactly. Some things are almost too deep for words. But Dante shows us the importance of trying, of finding the best images and metaphors we can, even if they fall short. The attempt itself has value.
And one last detail before we talk lessens the role of Mary. We mentioned her prayer. Virgil guided him with reason, Beatrice with love and theology. But the final step requires Mary's help.
Yes. Her intercession is the key that unlocks the ultimate vision.
Why her specifically at this final moment?
Well, it beautifully completes that chain of feminine grace we saw in Inferno 2. Mary prompted Lucy, who prompted Beatrice.
Ah, right. It brings it full circle.
Exactly. Mary represents perhaps pure grace, divine mercy, the ultimate maternal connection to the divine. It suggests that reaching the absolute highest point isn't just about reason or even revealed theology alone. It requires this intervention of grace, facilitated through her unique role.
It's a beautiful capstone to the role of guides throughout the journey.
It really is.
Okay, so reflecting on all this incredible final canto, the whole journey, what can we, take away for ourselves for navigating our own lives, our own comedies?
Well, I think there's some really profound lessons here. Let's unpack a few.
Please.
First, maybe the importance of asking for help, of humility. Dante, even at the summit, needed St. Bernard's prayer, needed Mary's intercession. It reminds us that our highest goals, our own beatific visions, often need support. We need others. We need mentors. Sometimes we just need grace. Humility isn't weakness. It's recognizing we're part of something bigger.
That's a good one. We often feel we have to do it all ourselves.
Then there's that vision of cosmic unity bound by love, seeing the universe as one volume.
Right.
That invites us to look for connections, to see the underlying unity, even when things seem chaotic or divided in our world, or even within ourselves, finding that love that binds it all.
Seeking harmony instead of just seeing the fragments.
Exactly. And related to that, the tension between experience and expression. Dante's struggle with memory.
Yeah, we touched on that.
It validates our own struggles when words fail us for our deepest experiences. But it also encourages us to try to share, to connect, even imperfectly. That effort matters.
And what about his mind failing him? The fantasia giving out. You mentioned that being a kind of wisdom.
Yes, accepting the limits of our understanding. Dante admits he can't fully grasp the vision.
It's too big.
Right. And there's wisdom in knowing that some realities transcend our rational minds. It's okay not to have all the answers intellectually. Sometimes understanding comes through different faculties, through intuition, through faith, through love itself. Accepting limits can actually open us up.
That's interesting, not seeing it as a failure, but as an opening to another kind of knowing.
Precisely. And there's the harmony of will, that final alignment.
His will and desire moving with the divine love.
Yeah. It suggests true freedom isn't just doing whatever we want, but aligning our deepest desires with, well, with the good, with the force that moves the universe. Finding that resonance brings peace. It's becoming part of the flow, not fighting against it.
Finding your place in that cosmic movement.
And that brings us to the final famous line. Movement is the essence of life and love.
The love that moves the sun and other stars.
It's not static. Love, like the universe, is dynamic. It's energy. It propels us, connects us, urges us towards growth, towards others, towards our best selves. It's the engine of everything.
Wow, okay. Humility, unity and love, embracing the struggle to express, accepting limits, aligning our will, and seeing love as this dynamic, moving force. That's a lot to take away from one canto.
It is. It's incredibly rich.
What an incredible 100 deep dives it's been, hasn't it? From the darkness of Inferno, right up here, to the light of paradise. Just thank you, truly, for coming on this journey with us. It's been amazing exploring this text.
The privilege has been all mine. It's been wonderful.
We really hope that for you listening, we've maybe made this complex, beautiful poem a bit more accessible, perhaps more inviting.
And perhaps spark some thoughts about your own journey.
Definitely.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider this. How might that very same love that moves the sun and other stars be moving inside you right now? Guiding your desires, your will, maybe in ways you don't even consciously recognize. What if those limits we feel or our understanding falls short? What if they aren't dead ends, but invitations? Invitations to a deeper kind of wisdom, beyond just words.
That's powerful. Thinking of that love not as something out there, but already working within us, guiding us. A really profound thought to end on. Thank you again for joining us on the deep dive.
Thank you.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep looking for those connections that love in your own lives. Ciao, ciao.